Hi everyone, my name's Nabeela. I'm a content creator and also the CEO of an independent charity called British Bangla Welfare Trust. And I'm sure we'll get into that later on, so I'm going to keep it brief.
Hi everyone, I'm Paolo and I'm an aspiring filmmaker and content creator.
I was gonna say.
Okay, I am a filmmaker, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, my name is Paolo and I'm a filmmaker and a content creator.
Hi everyone, I'm Becky. I'm a Korean cultural ambassador and founder of the K Supper Club, which is a monthly supper club at Korean restaurants.
Wow.
Hi guys, I'm Islah. I work in Sainsbury's in Bethnal Green.
Cheers.
No, I'm joking. I'm an actor, presenter, and director. Did I say director? I didn't. Actor, director, presenter, and the founder of a platform called the Corner Shop Network.
Wow. Such an amazing panel. I just forgot to introduce myself. My name is Gianne Lorraine. Also a content creator, also working in influencer marketing. And that's me. And hosting I'm also a mentor at Make The Jump. So this is really exciting. Big up Sydney for Make The Jump. So we're going to dive in. And just before we start, guys, there's a QR code. Make sure you pop in your questions on there. We're going to put a lot of time to the questions for this one. So, get your questions in. All right, so the first question is, how has your Asian heritage influenced the stories you tell or the work you create? Does anyone want to start?
I keep getting distracted by the baby. I'm so sorry.
I know the baby's too cute. I just can't look at it. Get him on the panel.
Go. Go.
Oh, okay, cool. So I think I try to spotlight my Bengali culture more and more as time goes by, but I consciously make the effort to not inject it into everything that I do because I'm Bengali, I'm very proud of that, but I'm a lot more than just what my culture is. Last year, for example, there were major protests happening in Bangladesh. My charity also does a lot of work in Bangladesh, so I try to use that momentum to speak about political issues in the country and make other people aware about things that they might not know. The reason being, I love making content on different issues, but I want to use my platform, to kind of have a purpose. An aesthetic feed is lovely. I literally posted an outfit video on the way here. But it's not always about that. I think sometimes I want to talk about things that are important to me and might not have the spotlight that it deserves. So yes, in short, I do kind of speak about my culture, but I try to use that as a stepping stone to talk about important issues.
Might as well go down the road.
Okay.
Same with me. I think for me, I started a lot sharing. I'm Filipino, so sharing a lot of like my Filipino culture, and a lot of my content in the past was Filipino content, which was nice and all. But I also remembered like I am British Filipino, like a British Asian, and I think I was around a lot of like Americans last year, where in America there's a lot of Asian American identity, and I feel like we don't really have that in Britain. There's no British Asian kind of identity or community alone. So I think that's what I've been trying to focus on this year, where I'm trying to celebrate not only like my Asian side, my Filipino side, and telling Filipino stories, but it's still kind of like deep-rooted British, like upbringing British stories. So yeah, I agree with that.
I think similarly actually to Paolo, I'm half Korean, half English, but I guess I appear to look more Korean. So society treated me that way when I was younger. So I kind of pushed my Korean heritage away. So I guess my storytelling is me reclaiming that part of me that pushed away my identity and learning about Korean culture through my lens. Because when I was younger, I learned about Korean culture through my mum. However, that's her perspective when Korea just came out of the Civil War. It was pretty much the GDP, I think it was one of the lowest in the world. It was a completely different Korea to the Korea I know. So I think I use my social media to discover more about my identity, and it's a journey, it's a process. There's so much more I need to learn, but yeah, I'm getting there slowly.
You guys are all doing really well, by the way. I just thought I'd say. So how I infuse culture or my heritage, if I'm in something that I've been casted in, for example, I was in a series called Man Like Mo Bean, which is on BBC and Netflix. And when I got to the set, we had a script and I had 2 lines. And I spoke to Guz Khan, who is the main actor, the writer, and I said, bro, can we like improv some stuff? He agreed to it, the director was on board, and I incorporated my language. Even if it was just one line of hearing my mother tongue, I had so many messages when that came out of Sylheti speaking Bangladeshi people that were like, I've never heard my language be spoken on BBC or on Netflix. Do you know what I mean? And if it's something I can't do in dialogue, I do it through the way I'm dressed or the character's dressed. There was another series I was in called Alma's Not Normal. Ended up winning a BAFTA, and in my scene, I'm in a car, and hanging from the rearview mirror is 2 boxing gloves with the Bangladeshi flag on it. So I was trying to infuse that just for people to just feel proud, even if it's like a small thing. And if it's something that I'm in control of, if I'm writing, then naturally I will infuse culture, I'll infuse the fashion, I'll infuse the language. I'll get a shot in there where someone's taking their shoes off, because that's something we can all relate to. And I think it's those moments that you see and you're like, oh yeah. It's that moment where you have that Leonardo DiCaprio moment, you point at the screen. That's what I always try to incorporate when I create stuff. And when it comes to being a British Muslim, I always because my content mainly focuses around comedy. And I like to basically create things in a way where it can just be normal. Like, you don't watch EastEnders and think, oh, it's a British, white, Christian show. You just think it's just a show. That's how Asian stuff should be. It should just be a series, a comedy show, a drama, and it just so happens that the main character happens to be Asian, happens to be Muslim. So I like to normalize it. I like to make it feel mainstream. I don't want to make it look like you're watching like a show from Bangladesh, like one of the, do you know what I mean? Like Bangla TV and, no, big up Bangla TV. Obviously, if no one's from Bangla TV, no, cool. Yeah, big up them, but you know what I mean, mainstream.
That is so jokes. No, it's actually always so nice where you can see those little moments in TV or in media where you feel like you can relate, like, oh, I feel seen, which is really, really, do you know? That actually, Islah, I want to ask you this question, and we can go back this way, because you touched on it. The question is, have you noticed a shift in how Asian stories and talents are received in entertainment and media?
I've seen a massive shift with Asian representation, especially, but in America, not in the UK. America is too far gone. Like, they've even got a Netflix page called Netflix Golden, which is dedicated to anything on Netflix that has Asian people in it. And when I have meetings with like BBC or Channel 4, they are so far behind. I went to the Channel 4 Slate presentation, which basically means they have a screen like this and they showcase what they've got coming up throughout the whole year. I was the only brown guy in the whole room. And not only that, everything they showed had no Asians in it at all. And they were on stage saying, we represent the nation, we really want to do this and that. And I wasn't scared. I put up a tweet, a picture, I did it on LinkedIn, and I explained respectfully. I said, I didn't feel seen in any of this. I didn't feel connected to any of it. And a few days later, I got an email, and it was Channel 4 themselves. And they actually said, could we have a word? Because we saw your post and we really want to get to the bottom of it. And we don't like that you left with that experience. So I ended up jumping on a call and actually discussing it with them. So where there isn't a change, if there is a change, it's amongst us. Some of you have been on my film sets and you know that I prioritize having an ethnic diverse crew. Vaughan, I'm looking at you. Maynard, I'm looking at you. Not just that, because Asians do it better. Do you know what I mean? But when we're in control of it, we need to make those conscious decisions. But when it's the industry themselves, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. And it's a constant battle. We have to keep trying. But it's moments like that where we have to post about it and talk about it to get a reaction.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Unfortunately.
It's nice to have you guys behind the scenes as well. I think it's really important to have people that look like us, sound like us behind the scenes to ensure that people in front of the camera just like, know what they're doing. And we're making sure that it's like authentic.
It is changing. There are positive moments. You do see like Asian characters and stuff. Like you got a whole Asian family in EastEnders. You got Asian characters and stuff. There is a change. We've come a long way from where we were, but there's a lot more work to do. Because now, like even at Channel 4 again, when they did mention Asians, they said they got a documentary coming out about Asian men in grooming gangs. And that's not the representation I want to see. Do you know what I mean? If it is there, it's negative. But there's a lot more work to be done. That's what.
You guys mentioned, you as well, Paolo, that there's a gap between the Asian American scene and us. What do you think we could do to close that gap? That could be to anyone in the panel.
I guess I'll answer that question. Looking at it with a Korean diaspora perspective, the Korean community in America are so much more established than the Korean community here. So they're like third generation in, whereas in the UK, the Korean community is so small. So for me, like when I saw Beef on Netflix, that had predominantly Korean American actors, even though the focus itself wasn't about them being Korean, it was just the mundane things that happen in an Asian household. But for me, that was representation. Like, wow, I can relate to that. Like you mentioned, Islah, like taking your shoes off. And there was a lot of focus on Korean churches as well, which is really important in our community. But I think in the UK, I don't know if it's because historically the UK has colonized the world. So I feel there's kind of like this stoicness, this not coming together as much as in, for example, in America. But I think one thing that did elevate that was COVID. When there was so much racism against Asians, I felt before that we were all kind of in our pockets, like these are Koreans, these are Filipinos, these are Chinese, these are Japanese. And we didn't really come together as much as we do now. But because when COVID happened, it was racism against everyone, saying, oh, go back to your homeland. So it kind of forced us to come together. And I think we should continue to do that. For example, opportunities in the industry and more representation in media as well.
Yeah, for me, I think they have the benefit of just being American in a way that they have the audacity. They're not like, no, like we have to.
Let's all quit. Let's go.
Yeah. Like we have to have the audacity to like believe in ourselves, and like they don't care if stuff is cringe. Like they would chase their dreams. They'd chase like they'd go on TikTok or they'll just put themselves into like audition. I feel like here not only are we battling like being seen as weird amongst our own like Asian circles and families, but we're also being weird as like to other Londoners, like because you know how like England is like UK bad vibes and all that. Like we're all like like they see it as cringe, but I feel like the moment where I saw difference, especially for like my stuff, was when I stopped caring about like, damn, am I really gonna put my feelings out there? And the moment I put my feelings out there, like it just so happens it was like all the American, a lot of like my audience is American, and I feel like I'm trying to crack that in the UK where you can be like British Asian, you can talk about your upbringing, your families and friends that are Asian will find it weird, and people who are also just like British in general would find you relatable and also not find it weird, because obviously we're trying to change that mindset where like it's cool to like tell your stories online without it being cringe because you're on TikTok, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And as you guys mentioned, the community is getting bigger and bigger, and we're actually finding ourselves now. I feel we never really had this space where we had that safe space to see each other and to big each other up. Like only a few years ago is when I started to see spaces like this, and it's only growing now. And we just have to remind each other that we need to have the audacity. Okay? We need to have the audacity. And someone who works in influencer marketing, I can see like the behind the scenes of which creators are being picked, their prices, their rates. And guys, just a reminder, just big up yourself all the way. Like, we are the only ones that can advocate for themselves, and that's something that I'm learning very recently. So this is a reminder for you guys to do the same. So very, very grateful for this community. And speaking of community, because of timing, we're going to go to questions on the floor.
Wow. Do you want to do
that was quick.
first? That was so great.
What'd you say?
They will read these out. So we'll read out questions and then we'll open it to the floor. So I'll do 2 questions from the Slido, which are quite popular. A big one. No. Oh, yes, Slido. There's a QR code for people to ask questions anonymously. A question for everyone is, what is your why? Someone asked that, like, what keeps you going to making content, doing what you do, directing?
Legacy.
Oh. literally.
Legacy. The reason I say legacy is because, so I'm a Muslim, and we have strong belief in everything you do on this earth, you're accounted for after you die. And naturally, you don't even have to be a Muslim to know that do good things. Do you know what I mean? Being good to someone just carries on. Like, I'll just rush from work, right? So every Saturday I teach at an academy, and I'm teaching kids film and TV studies. one day they're going to go on to carry on, and knowing that I was part of their childhood to get to where they get, that's a really nice feeling. It's creating content that resonates. It's making films that people feel heard, people feel seen, and making an impact, changing the narrative. These are things that can carry on after I die. So if I make a film, so I've got a film coming out called Go Back to Your Country, and it's literally based off of the riots that happened last year. I know for a fact that once that film's out after I pass away, that's going to create and continue to create conversation. Do you know what I mean? And everyone here on the panel, that's what we all do. We all create content, we all identify ourselves as who we are, and we carry that message on. So it goes beyond what we are as an individual. That's why I created the Corner Shop Network. It's a platform, like Nabeela's on it. Do you know what I mean? You've got Ray on it. Everyone that joins in is showcasing their culture, and other people feel seen and heard. Like one of our videos went viral because we were talking about in our
Siliti or Bangla.
Yeah, in Siliti, in our
Crazy.
dialect, we can't say I miss you in my language. So translated to how we say it is Tumar lagi amar zane thane, which basically means my soul is yearning for you. So that's like our mother tongue, right? And a lot of young people in London, they don't speak the mother tongue. So that video just started going viral. Do you know what I mean? But everyone felt seen and heard, and it just brought everyone together. It's that legacy. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more I could say, but I'll try not to.
I think being the representation that we all needed when we were younger, particularly if you grew up in the UK, seeing people that look like you doing being a voice for the community, I think is really important. And also telling the stories from your perspective before it's told for you. So we're all, many of us here are British Asian, and there is more of an interest now in British Asians generally, but I think it's important for us to tell our stories from our perspective before someone takes it from Hollywood and puts a spin on it. I think the authenticity is really important, and I think that's what we all do on this panel as 100%. Well. Yeah.
100%.
I think for me, it's just kind of like ripple inspiration. Like when I would like watch content, I'd be super inspired by just like people online, and that led me to making like my own content. And obviously, I'm now where I'm at because of that. And so I really love it when I go to like other countries, kind of like what John said earlier was like, and everyone's like, yo, I love your stuff. Like you inspire me to create and you do this and that's like me, like what the heck? And that honestly keeps me going because then I see these people then go create their own creative communities and find their own people and that and so on and so on and so on. Just like constantly like, yeah, it's like constant ripple, so.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that my answer is kind of a combination of everything that everyone has just said, but I'd break it down into 2 points. The first one is because I want to. And I think we shouldn't underestimate that. Nobody's told us to make content. Thank you, Queen. But we do it because we want to. And I feel like in my case, I feel like I'm one of the few content creators that doesn't have a specific niche. And I try not to let that stress me out. I actually kind of like it because I don't want to pigeonhole myself. And I have so many interests. I don't want to just make content about one of those parts of my identity. Moving on to the second answer, though, is also to make an impact. So kind of expanding on what I just said, I have a lot of different intersections of my identity, and I don't fit into one neat box. So I think sometimes in order to make representation that's authentic and to make an impact, let other people feel seen, is just by doing it yourself. I got a really nice DM a few days ago from somebody in Burma who said that they relate to my content because they also don't fit in a pretty box. And that was really like, I don't know, it was really humbling to see that you can make that impact on other people's lives and hopefully inspire other people to just tell their stories if they want to. And if you don't, that's also fine. I feel like there's a lot of pressure that everyone has to have the Osmo Pocket and like the Holyland mics, which I love, by the way, and make this really, really great content, but you don't. Like if you just want to film when you went out for lunch with your friends, you can. You don't even need to post it, but I think it's just fun to do.
She was on her Snapchat. Give her some time. Hold on. You know you was on Snapchat. Oh, sorry, my bad. TikTok.
No hate though.
Be real.
You're such a dad.
I know. I'm such a dad, innit?
The next question is, how do you define your success?
Legacy. How do I define success? I define success by what I want to define it as. Some people define success as money. Some people define success as how many followers you got and all that stuff. I always say, if you're going to do something creative, do it for the 2 P's. Purpose, there's two P's, sorry, purpose and popularity. If you do it for popularity, you're always going to be chasing numbers. You're always going to be chasing followers. You're going to be chasing engagement, interaction. And those numbers are going to keep going up, and you're going to have another benchmark. And that will never end. And you'll be surrounded by people that don't love you for who you are, love you for how many followers you got. You chase something for purpose, whether that purpose be fighting racism, educating a community or changing a narrative. That purpose will become popular because people will gravitate towards that. Do you know what I mean? And that, I think, is a success. A success can literally be like your parents saying they're proud of you, which never happens, obviously. It can define what you want to define it as. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think success, that it can't always be measurable. It depends on how you define success. I think coming from an Asian heritage, there is that pressure from our parents to be successful in your job, your career, but you can't live your life for the success for your parents' approval, because they have a completely different lifestyle and expectations from us. Like, many of our parents came here for a better life for us to make those choices for ourselves. So yes, they had to do the hard work, they had to struggle and strive for us to have those choices. So I think I would agree with you that success is not measurable. I think for me, success is also about how many people I can make happy, because I do K Sub Club, which is a monthly sub club at Korean restaurants. And for me, it was kind of like a test to see if it would be popular. And I realized after COVID, there was a need for people to come together and make connections. And for me, success is when I see that people from K Supper Club, have formed friendships without me having to intervene. So I created the space where they can meet each other, and then from there, friendships form. And I think making those connections and people then building on those connections, for me, is how I define my success.
No, I agree. Like what Becky said, I think for me, it's like about happiness. Not only if like other people are happy, or like my family, my friends, whatnot, but also if I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Like, I was successful even before any of this. So yeah, I think for me, it's happiness.
Damn, guys, okay. I would say that I don't really want to quantify success, because then you could get big-headed. There's so many different ways to measure it, though. Like, if I'm able to inspire somebody else, I get a lot of comments saying that you're so confident. How do you do that? That's kind of success. Very recently, Reform England reposted one of my videos. That's not success, but people were saying, let me land.
It's a success in some places, all right?
If you say so. But people were saying, if I'm able to ruffle those feathers, then that's a good thing. So taking the positive out of a situation is always really useful. Something I've been doing recently is talking more about my Muslim identity, specifically being a Shia Muslim. It's the thing that I care the most about. And it's interesting. I won't expand on it now because this is a different panel entirely. But I tried to take some negative moments and use them as a source for spreading awareness. And I feel like that's success as well, because where I saw people receiving death threats a few years ago, I used that moment to educate people on why that even happened, because a lot of people didn't know about it. I received so many nice comments recently from people who are outside of my community saying that they learned something new. And for me, that's the biggest success, because I've been playing the long game when it comes to content, and really and truly, that's the main thing I want to focus on. So yeah, definitely not Reform England though.
We have time for 1 or 2 questions from the floor, if anyone has anything they want to ask our panellists. Give it a second, sometimes we can move it up. If not, I will go to Slido.
Yeah, any questions? Anybody got some questions? We got a question over here, we got a question over there.
If not, I've also got questions here.
We got the questions over here, we got questions there.
Go for it, G.
Okay. What advice do you have for young Asian creatives who are trying to carve their own paths? I think this is a really nice question, because I have mentees, and mentoring them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to be like a big sister. I never had this before, and you give it their all. You want to give it your all to them. So I want to hear from you guys.
Advice, yeah. Let me ask you guys, do you guys want practical advice or do you guys want chase your dreams advice?
This is the dad in him talking right now.
That's the dad in me. Do you guys want practical advice? Yeah. Practical advice, yeah, in no particular order. When you're sending emails out to companies, brands, agents, whatever, don't attach files and don't send them download links. Chances are they're from a company where their internet doesn't even allow them to download files, right?
So true.
YouTube is free. Sometimes don't even bother paying for a Vimeo account. Have everything uploaded on YouTube on an unlisted link, right? And send them links. Condense it. Say, here's my show reel for presenting. Here's my show reel for acting. Here's my show reel for this. Have it all ready, because you never know what someone's going to ask for, right? Headshots, don't attach it as a file. Put it into the email so you can see it, and put it as small so that the storage space on the email isn't much. You have to think about these things, because that could be shooting yourself in the foot. You send a nice email, you look back at it like, yeah, that's a nice email. They haven't read it, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Other things I would say is, this is more practical for yourself. Surround yourself with the right people. So I've been around people that drain my energy. I've been around people that I had to like convince to be on my side, even when it comes to family, and I'm sorry to say that as well. Sometimes your family don't support you. And as harsh as it sounds, keep a distance. As much as you can, keep a distance. Do you know what I mean? Because I surround myself with positive people. So the days that I'm feeling crap, I'll ring people like Ray. Do you know what I mean? I'll ring him and say, bro, having a crappy day, man, I don't feel like doing this. He'll give me all the words of encouragement that I need, and I'm back on my feet again. And vice versa. Do you know what I mean? And if you surround yourself with those people, and especially as creatives, we need it. And as Asians, we need it even more, because a lot of us had parents that didn't really encourage it. They didn't really push us towards it. And that actually has an effect as an adult, because you don't believe in yourself. Do you know what I mean? And I'm speaking for a lot of people, including myself. So I surround myself with positive people that are like, they don't have to even be in the creatives side, but as long as they believe in you and tell you that you can do it, come along with you to your auditions, come along with you to your set, anything you can do that they can support you with, surround yourself with those people and stay with those people.
I'm a proper dad, innit?
Wow, what else to add to that?
You can do the chase your dreams thing, go on.
I think a piece of advice I wish I had when I was younger, not just being an Asian creative, but just being a young person. If you are chasing a dream, whether it's in your career or in the creative industry, if you're only doing it for yourself, you will lose the willpower, you will lose motivation, because the only person you're letting down is yourself, and it's easy to let down yourself. But if you, whatever your dream is, if you make that responsibility outside of yourself, so think, okay, I'm doing it, I don't know, for my family, my partner, my friends, the wider community, then you have to be accountable for whatever goal you set. And I think the bigger the responsibility, the more likely you are to follow through. Yes, it does add pressure, but if you want success, that comes with pressure. So I think one piece of advice I wish I had taken earlier was not just doing things for myself, but thinking about how whatever I achieve can impact other people in my community as well.
For me, my biggest advice is to just create in a way that, like, don't try to overthink on how to be super original. Like, I think naturally we all consume the same media. Some of us have the same upbringings. Like, we're naturally going to, like, kind of have the same ideas and same stories. But the thing is, that idea or story may have been done already, but just not by you. So that's, if you're honestly as authentic as you are, just create. Like, I'm still like a quote from a friend, like, just make stuff even if it's bad. I think shout out Ethan for that, because that has been the biggest thing. Like, obviously everyone's a perfectionist. As long as you create, it's there. And yeah, that's my biggest advice.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that everyone just said. I would say explore different things. You don't need to have your niche straight away, and if you don't have one ever, that's also fine. Try different things. Don't make yourself bored by just doing the same thing every day. But also, so that you're not just creating things endlessly without reason, make sure that you set your intentions. I would say that is the most important thing. I had a phone call with a friend a few years ago, And I didn't realize the impact it would have on me now, because I'm reflecting on it a lot now, actually, the past week. I need to call him and tell him. And we just had a very general, casual conversation where we were talking about like, okay, Nabeela, what kind of content do you want to make? Who's your dream client? What do you want to do? Why are you doing it? And it was just an easygoing, casual conversation. But now that I reflect on it, certain things are falling in place based on what I said to him. And it's always been in my mind anyway. So I think setting your intention so that you know you're moving forward with purpose, with direction. So yeah, make things for the sake of making it, but also kind of have a guiding principle in your mind so that, I don't know, it saves you time as well.
Me? What was the question again?
Yeah, take it home.
it was me.
Give us some advice.
The question was for me. Oh, advice, sorry. Carving your own path. I would say to just dabble into everything, try everything. I just like doing everything, guys. I like doing everything. And when you're in that space of that thing that you're enjoying, I would say to do your best to like speak to the right people. Not in the sense of like transactional, but just to keep them, make friends. Like I found Sydney in Occasians, actually. One of the first ones on the boats, which was a couple of years ago,
what kind
guys.
of boat?
The boat.
Oh,
The boat on the River Thames. You know that one? Yeah. And it's not even like we were doing anything transactional. I just kind of just kept her in as my bestie, basically. And I've been doing this other mentorship program that I've been doing within the last week. So I went to Snapchat the other day and LinkedIn, and they have just been honing into making connections and being in the right spaces. And you're going to be in the right space if you want to be there. There will always be that common ground if you're in that same space with someone. So I know it can be really scary to go up to someone or just to say hi, but just know they're probably scared as well. So yeah, definitely utilize this space. Big up again, Sydney, for Make The Jump. Yeah, it's so nice. I was speaking to Sydney not even too long ago before she made Make The Jump, where she was saying how it always feels like we're the only Asians in the room. But if you look around now, it's so nice to be surrounded by everyone here. So, and every single person here, don't forget to really speak about yourself, speak about what you aspire to be, because the people that you connect with, they're gonna remember you like, oh yeah, like what? Gillian likes to do fashion and content creating, and then when opportunities come up, we're gonna send it to you guys. That's like one thing that I would say, especially within like the creative industry. Like we're gonna remember you guys. We're gonna remember them. We're gonna remember yous. So make sure you're talking to everyone. Be nice. I would like to say be nice to everyone.
No, that is a big bit of advice,
Be nice.
Be nice. Be
nice.
kind. I tell you why, yeah.
Go on.
I have met people that were not nice to me, and when I got up that ladder, I remembered that.
Trust
you know what I mean?
me.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Vice versa. I was nice to people on my way up, and then they got into positions higher than me. And you know what? They remembered me and they did me a favor. And I tell you, anyone I ask for advice that's deep in the industry, they will tell you in a way where they'll be like, don't be a dick. That's their bit of advice.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much to the panel. So insightful, so incredible. Big up yourselves. I think you guys should plug yourselves actually before we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Handle everything.
Oh, okay, cool. Instagram is at Nablo, Nabblo. And you can also follow my charity, which is linked in my bio. So check it out.
Let's go.
She's funny, I'm just going to say it, innit? She's funny, but she's trying to be humble today, but...
For me, Paolo everywhere, IG, Instagram. Oh wait, IG, Instagram, the same thing. TikTok, YouTube.
My Instagram name is Hanguk Hapa, Hanguk, meaning Korea, Hapa, a word to describe someone of a mixed upbringing that doesn't have negative connotations to it. And then there, you can follow all things to do with K Sub Club if you ever want to join.
Nice.
Subscribe to me on YouTube.
Cheers.
Because I need the numbers in. I know I said don't worry about numbers, but I need numbers still. No, joking. And on all socials, I'm Mr. Islah. YouTube and TikTok is _. The rest is with a full stop.
Nice. And follow me as well at Gianne Lorraine on all platforms.
Come on. And follow Make The Jump, and please follow Occasians. Yeah, they're doing great work.
Yeah, don't forget to use the hashtags as well.
And tag the hotel.
And tag the hotel.
Tag the hotel so we can do this again.
No, this venue is insane, innit, guys?
Yeah, 100%.
No, it's proper mad. I walked in and I was like, how is this screen so big? Like, we're in the cinema room right now, so yeah. Big up, Sydney.
Sydney!
Sorry, another round of applause for our panelists, please. And Gianne for moderating. Thank you, guys. I've had a fantastic day. I've learnt a lot. I've met you guys through, most of you guys through Occasions, actually. So big up Ray Roberts, everyone. Ray, I met Gianne, Paolo, and Ray on the same day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just under 2 years ago now. And look at us now. But yeah, huge thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to Canon Films as well. They hosted a workshop with us online the other day, which was one of our most popular ones. So thank you, guys.
Canon Films, I need a team with a BBL. Big bad lens, by the way. Sorry, the camera's on. I have to rectify that. It's Ramadan.
Humanity, who have sponsored the drink, so please drink, please tag them. They're our Asian-owned business from Taiwan, so yes, big up them. Captura Booths, who have done the lovely photo booth outside. Please book them from your events, they're incredible. Really nice people as well, and you can airdrop stuff, which I think is so sick and very efficient. But yeah, thank you everyone, especially all our volunteers, all our mentees, mentors. Also shout out my mum, dad and sister at the back.
Hello auntie, hello uncle.
It's so nice to see like parents, family really supporting. So
My parents still don't know what I do, so.
Trust me. Yeah, I do marketing, mum.
My mum blocked me as well, so. You don't think I'm joking, bro.
Oh yeah, no. Shout out my parents. My parents have always been supportive of what I do creatively. Also, I was also just not very good at maths, so here we are. But yes, we've got our mentees and mentors and some of our wider network stuff on the projectors. So please go and enjoy. There's a lot of our people's work on there. For example, Jill, one of our mentees, her fashion work is there. She's a DIY legend. She's made some great work.
She's also a stylist on set, by the way. She did the styling for my film.
Yeah, so if anyone needs a stylist, shout Jill.
If you want us, yeah.
And yes, and then we also have the lovely Canon Films. Their music video is outside, so they might do a surprise performance soon if we can peer pressure them enough. But yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy your drinks. Enjoy the rest of the evening, day, wherever we are. And yeah, bye.
Thank you guys.
Make the jump. England! I'm joking.
We can go enjoy.
That was such a nice conversation, guys.
That was,
Love it.
That was.
Proper.
Very nice.